Mexico's president says she was not aware of CIA operations in her country after 2 Americans were killed in a crash returning from a mission targeting a drug lab. Our senior national correspondent William Lajeunesse is in Los Angeles with the latest. I would expect that while she might not have known exactly of the operation, she had to know that the CIA was in her country.
Yeah, that's no surprise. The CIA has actually been critical in taking down El Mencho and several operations there, especially with real-time surveillance, John. But in this case, Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum says she may actually file a formal complaint that the U.S. violated their national security laws in this incident. So here's what happened. On Sunday, 2 CIA agents were returning from helping the Mexican Army and police bust a major meth lab in the mountains between the states of Chihuahua and Sinaloa when their vehicle crashed and exploded in a ravine. 2 Mexican agents were killed as well. Now, the Chihuahua State Attorney General said the Mexican Army had led this operation, but Sheinbaum claims that neither she nor her cabinet nor certain commanders with the Army knew that the CIA was there.
What the president is saying can be completely accurate in that her Security Council may not have signed off on this. Yet at the same time, someone within a federal branch of government, their army, may have been working with these agents.
So the agents were in a 5-car convoy leaving the raid when the accident occurred. Now, the state AG there says the 2 agents were drone instructors carrying out training. Now, Sheinbaum says the CIA can only provide training and intelligence and cannot work with the state police without federal approval. That's where the complaint will come in. She has increased cooperation with the U.S., extraditing 90 cartel members so far, and admits that the CIA provided critical real-time support in a joint operation in February to take down El Mencho, one of the country's most powerful cartel leaders. So what's a little odd here, John, as you know, the U.S. military, and especially the CIA, typically only works with very closely vetted units like the Marinas for fear of leaks. And in this bust, someone did tip off the cartel, and everyone at that lab was gone when the Army arrived. Back to you.
Not much of a surprise there. William Lajeunesse for us. William, thank you. Sandra?
Sure. Okay, let's bring in Derek Maltz, former acting DEA administrator. What questions do you have?
Well, Sandra, what I would say is, what is the big deal to go after these cartels using experts in the CIA or the DEA, the Homeland Security, FBI, Marshals? What are we trying to hide? We have terrorists that are devastating the country of Mexico, not just America. They're killing historic amounts of children. So I don't like when we put politics ahead of national security and public safety. Our president has made it crystal clear that he will provide whatever resources are necessary to Mexico to go after these terrorists. Thank God they were declared terrorists finally after many years. And I'm glad to see that they did have a significant seizure of a meth lab. If you look at what's going on in this country with methamphetamine, it's incredible and it's so underreported. I mean, I sent a bunch of pictures in because I want to be clear. They had 170,000 pounds of meth seized by the CBP last year. But look at the seizures we're having inside the country. There was 2,700 pounds in California recently, historic, 2,000 pounds by the Texas DPS last month down in Texas. I can go on and on and on. So we should be coming together using all expertise, authorities, and capabilities to crush these cartels once and for all.
All right, Dan Hoffman is joining us now. Also, he's with us, a former CIA chief of station. Dan, jump on in here to the conversation. Obviously, the Mexican president's demanding answers on this CIA operation, while she says this, suggesting a potential constitutional violation. Listen.
Until now, the information we have is that they were working together. Let's put it that way. Then, all the investigation has to be done by the public prosecutor's office to see if the Constitution or the national security law was violated.
So she says she was not told about the CIA counter-drug mission. What questions do you have at this point based on what we've learned so far, Dan?
Well, my first question is why the government of Mexico isn't expressing their condolences for the loss of life, American officials who were trying to do their best to wipe out a national security threat to Mexico and the United States. I can tell you from my experience, the sort of work that the CIA does is to build capacity for our foreign government partners so that they can conduct operations like these against drug traffickers and drug labs. And look, this was being done, the training reportedly, there was CIA training being done for Mexican security that the CIA was not there actually conducting the operation. But look, those are things that Mexico and the United States can iron out together behind closed doors, preferably. I'm quite sure there will be lots of testimony for House and Senate Intelligence Committees from Director Ratcliffe outlining what went down. I can tell you from my past experience when we've lost CIA officers overseas, going back to 1993, Freddie Woodruff, who was killed in Tbilisi, the CIA director sent the CIA plane out to bring his body home. Mike Spann, who was killed in Afghanistan, the first casualty in our war on the Taliban and al-Qaeda in Afghanistan. We acknowledge sometimes the deaths of our officers who were serving in harm's way and lost their lives serving our nation. And sometimes we put stars on the wall at CIA headquarters to recognize them. But I think right now it's time to take a step back and just recognize that we lost, 2 CIA officers reportedly and Mexican officials. And let's remember their sacrifice. Let's start with that, and then remember that we're working together on a righteous cause together.
Yeah, and Derek, I'll finish off with a more broad point, and that is the number of Mexican cartels that have now been designated foreign terrorist organizations, going back to your earlier point, including the Sinaloa, the Northeast, United Gulf cartels. How important is it that this is happening? I'll give you a final thought on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's extremely important because our country's getting devastated with these substances that are killing at historic levels. And as Dan pointed out, it's not just American citizens, it's the Mexican country has been devastated. They have more disappearances of bodies all over the country because the cartels are doing this. They're throwing people in acid, they're chopping heads off, they have an army. So for me, I'm very happy to see the increased cooperation. And I love the fact that our CIA and our agents in that embassy are providing expertise that the Mexican government doesn't have and they need to fight this enemy. And it is an enemy. It's like the worst terrorist organization we've had going after this country in many years. Look at all the deaths. You just have to look at the deaths.
Yeah. Derek, Dan, thank you both.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.